guys, it's Leslie. Today I want to show you a very easy and fairly affordable alternative to framing. I've bought some cheap frames and unfortunately they haven't worked out for me. All of them have busted. They basically just come apart in the corners, and I have a lot of prints that I want to display and enjoy in my studio and in my house, and I don't want to go through the fuss and the expense of framing them. So I'm going to do it this way. So these are just color copies. If you have originals, please frame them. Please don't do this with anything that isn't a more kind of a disposable form of art. This is a color copy by Koya Mori. I'll link all the artists down in the show notes. This is by Koya Mori, and this is 1 inch thick black on black foam board. Okay, got my ruler. I have my utility knife. This is really important. This is the key to the whole success of this undertaking. And then I have double-sided tape. Okay, like I said, if you have an original, please frame it, treat it properly, because once these prints, these copies go onto this foam board, they're never coming off because the double-sided tape will rip. Okay, I've got my my cutting mat, and we're set to go basically. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna double-side tape my copy onto the foam board. And that would be it, except that foam board is both awesome and kind of a pain in the ass at the same time. I had mine shipped and they accordioned all the corners. So all the corners, this got cut, but they're all like wrinkled in like an accordion. So I can't use any of the corners. If you bang it, it dents really quickly, really easily, because it's basically just paper over top of foam. There's foam in the middle and paper on both sides, but it's really super light and it's super sturdy. It's not gonna warp or bend. So it's a great mounting surface. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, and here's a key when you're ever taping anything or mounting anything, tape first before you cut. Our instinct is to, and you know what? I want to get this into the corners. Okay, because there's nothing worse than having something that's taped up that lifts up at the corners with a little bit of humidity. So just gonna make sure that my corners are taped up. And these are actually a little bit of a nicer, heavier weight of a copy, so I don't have to worry about seeing too much of this double-sided tape come through. On really thin papers, you can tape stuff down and it will show through as a bend. Okay, that's enough. You can put one in the middle if you want. I don't want to, so I'm not going to. Just peel this off. This is not archival, this is not acid-free. This is like the cheapest method you can get for mounting something. Okay, now I've got extra cat hair on it. I've got an extra larger piece here. Now if I had an actual true corner, I would line this up into the corner and use it. But I don't, so I'm gonna bring it down a bit and I'm gonna measure it up against the side. Okay, so I'm holding it down, it's getting a little tacky, but I can let it go, but I can still move it a bit and just make sure that this side is even. And then put it down, ta-da! Okay, so I'm taped. Now, this is gonna be the side that we work with. That's the amount of space that I wanna make all the way around. Okay, and what's nice, the way Koya Mori has printed her prints, She's given at least, I cut these down a little bit, but she tried to get equal white space around them. And this is nice. This acts almost like a fake mat. You know, it creates a separation between this isn't exactly long enough. Make sure, if you can, that your ruler will do the whole length of it, because you don't want to have to shift in the middle of your cut. Okay, here is the cutting part, which is important. Okay, use some sort of a snap-off blade or some sort of a utility knife that you can extend quite large, because you need to make sure that the blade goes through double thickness. You also want to make sure it's sharp. A sharp blade is really the key to good foam board cutting. Okay, so I'm going to measure this out. From the outside, I'm measuring and trying to, I'm just eyeballing it, but eyeballing it is good enough. Okay, now what's going to happen is I'm going to go through once, okay, to cut the top layer of paper and the foam, and now I'm going to go through again, okay, and I cut through the bottom layer of foam. That's how you get a nice crispy cut of foam board. Okay, now I'm going to do the other two sides. Now what I wish I had was this was not hanging off, okay? Because that's where mistakes happen. It would be much easier for me to cut from this side. You know what I mean? Like to cut on the outside, to have the ruler on this side and totally stable and cut. But I'm not actually able to measure the width as easily. And so you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so you want to hold the ruler down firmly, cut once, in a smooth motion, and then cut again. Okay, I kind of got a weird wonk on that. So now I'm going to come in on this side and try and keep my knife perfectly perpendicular, and I'm going to actually even put out larger amount of blades, so, well, not that much, just so that I can okay. Not too bad, it's a little wonky. Okay, because that went wonky, I'm gonna try it the other way, this way, up here, and I'm gonna be guesstimating that that's about as much room as I need. Okay, so, oh, and that went through first. Okay, you can see it's a little bit wonky up there. But overall, not bad. Now, here's the amazing thing about this. And I think the next ones I'm gonna leave a little bit more border. That's actually way too little border, because now it looks like a plaque. Less like framed, more like plaque. Okay, what I can do though is take a pencil or a pen or whatever, and basically poke a hole in the back, okay, and make it as big as you need for whatever nail or screw or hanger or whatever, and then you just pop it on the wall. Like literally, I just have a nail or a screw and I push it on the wall and straighten it. And there you've got it. You're framing or hanging your prints. Okay, awesome, right? Awesome. Okay, here's another tip though. Okay, these are great. Koyamori has left it so that I can cut a border around all her prints. But I have these awesome prints that I forgot I had, and I was so excited when I went through and found them. These are from Katie Cook. Now these are bleed, full bleed, right? They go right to the edge. And what would look better? Like, that's fine. That's nice. That's fine. But for me, what I prefer to do is I'm gonna mount these onto just white Mayfair, some sort of a cardstock or white cartridge or something, and then mount them onto the foam board. Okay, and that'll give me that same kind of border look that's happening with these. All right. Okay, so that's double-sided foam board and your utility knife and double-sided tape, and there's, ta-da, an affordable way to mount your prints. Okay, I'm gonna show you one that has a wider border as well before I go. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, so I just taped this down, and here's another way to do it as well, to make sure that all the sides are the exact same width, is to actually use your ruler to measure. Go figure. So these are going to be 1.5. All of the they're going to be 1.5 inches. Now you only need to mark twice to cut a straight line. Okay, and the nice thing about this way is I'm always going to have my ruler supported. Okay, so I'm just lining up my ruler with my 2 marks, my 2 pencil marks. And I totally didn't go in with the ruler. There. So you want to kind of pull into the ruler as you're cutting. So we've done 4 cuts with that. I'm going to start watching that because unfortunately when your blade is too dull, it ruins your foam board by dragging it and ripping it. And then it's too late. So, okay, so I'm measuring 1.5 inches out from the edge of my page. And this will just give you a for sure even mat and a cut, unlike the other one that I did, which I eyeballed. It was okay, but it's not totally even. I'm gonna pull this in a little bit just to have a little more control. Okay, so I'm pushing quite hard and getting through on 1 cut. Like I said, you don't have to do 1 cut though. Okay, you can totally do 2 cuts. And you're encouraged to do 2 cuts. Okay, I'm also, you can see my fingers are spread along the ruler because you want to hold it down. As far across the width of this as you can tell. Now, did you see how my hand shook? Like, I'm literally like pushing down with all my might. Because if you're not really pushing down and really pushing with the ruler, it's gonna go all over the place. You're gonna get a big mess. Okay. Okay, now that was a new fresh blade that I put in. Okay, I had cut nothing else with that blade before I did these 2 pieces. Just to keep in mind like how important the fresh, clean new blade is. Okay, and there we have, that's much nicer. I like that better than I don't even know what I did with the first one. Here it is. Aw, this one looks like sad, like I was chinsing out on the on the foam board. This is much nicer. I like this a lot better. But there's your two options. Okay? So great, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe or share or check out the website. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.